Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're pulling back the curtain on how some, well, seemingly different worlds, aviation and automotive, have actually pioneered some really valuable approaches to quality improvement.
Right. Approaches that are now making waves in healthcare.
Exactly. And we'll also be digging into the crucial role of accreditation in making sure those, high standards actually become a reality.
It's a fascinating intersection, really. For maybe too long, different sectors just kind of operated in their own silos.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look closer, you see industries dealing with high-stakes, complex systems. They often grapple with surprisingly similar challenges.
So where are we drawing our insights from today?
Well, we're looking at articles on quality improvement in aviation and automotive,
Mm-hmm.
seeing how they apply to healthcare, plus information from global accreditation bodies like Joint Commission International JCI
Okay.
and the National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Providers, NABH, in India, and also the International Society for Quality in Healthcare, ISQA. And we'll even touch on how consultancies, like Spree-Medic, for example,
Mm-hmm.
are helping hospitals put these ideas into practice and get accredited.
Right. So our mission here isn't just to describe what these other industries do, but to really pull out those aha moments.
Those actionable strategies.
Actionable strategies, exactly. Things that can lead to safer, more efficient healthcare for everyone. And understanding why accreditation isn't just a stamp, but a real driver for improvement.
Couldn't agree more.
So let's dive in. Aviation first. It's an industry where, the smallest error can be catastrophic. What's really at the heart of their safety record? What can healthcare learn?
Well, what's truly striking about aviation is their unwavering commitment to what they call high reliability.
High reliability.
Okay. It's not just aiming for perfection. It's designing systems and fostering a culture that consistently prevents massive failures, even when things are incredibly complex or risky.
How do they do that?
A key way is through incredibly detailed standardized procedures and checklists. Think about a pilot. Pages of checks before every single takeoff, every time.
Mm-hmm.
And healthcare has adapted this. Maybe the best known example is the WHO Surgical Safety Checklist.
Right, I've seen that. Seems simple but effective.
Incredibly. Studies show it dramatically cuts down complications, even deaths. It reduces the cognitive load on people and just ensures everyone's on the same page at critical points.
That makes total sense. It's about building in safety nets, not just relying on memory under pressure. What else stands out from aviation?
Another crucial element is crew resource management, or CRM.
CRM, okay.
This is all about optimizing teamwork and communication.
Mhm.
In the cockpit, clear roles, speaking up if something looks wrong, effective collaboration.
And healthcare's adopted this too.
Yes, with programs like TeamStep PS, it focuses on improving how doctors, nurses, technicians, everyone communicates, especially in those high-stress, fast-paced situations.
Like in an operating room or an emergency department?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In both places, clear, concise communication can literally be the difference between a good outcome and a critical error.
Absolutely. And what about when things do go wrong? Aviation has the famous black box, right? What's the healthcare equivalent?
Yeah, the black box, or the flight data recorder. It's invaluable in aviation for understanding exactly what happened leading up to an incident. The goal isn't blame.
Right, it's about learning.
Precisely. Understanding the underlying causes. Healthcare uses a similar approach, root cause analysis, or RCA.
RCA.
When something bad happens, an adverse event, a team investigates to find the systemic factors that contributed. The aim is always to implement changes to stop it happening again. Structured, blameless learning.
And simulation. I know pilots spend ages in simulators.
They do. Aviation figured out long ago the best way to prepare for emergencies is to practice them safely. Simulators let pilots rehearse everything from engine failures to bad weather.
And healthcare's catching on.
Increasingly, yes. Simulation training for doctors, nurses, whole teams. It lets them practice complex procedures, respond to crises, improve decision-making, all without any risk to actual patients. It's about continuous learning in a safe space.
You mentioned a just culture earlier. That sounds really key, especially in healthcare where mistakes feel so significant.
It is key. A just culture in aviation tries to balance accountability for, say, reckless behavior with creating an environment where people feel safe reporting errors or near misses without fear of punishment.
Why is that important?
Because if people are afraid to speak up, you lose incredibly valuable data. Data that could help prevent future, maybe more serious incidents. Healthcare is recognizing this too.
So encouraging reporting.
Exactly. When staff feel supported in reporting errors, you get a much clearer picture of system weaknesses and where you need to improve. Imagine a nurse feeling okay reporting a near miss with a medication because the focus is on fixing the system, not blaming her.
Okay, so it's really about fostering this culture where everyone feels responsible for safety and empowered to make things better. It sounds like the big takeaway from aviation is this idea of systems thinking.
Precisely. Safety isn't just one person's job, it's embedded everywhere in the whole
Yeah.
system.
Right. Now, if we shift gears a bit, automotive. You think assembly lines, maybe efficiency, but there's a deep culture of quality there too, right?
Absolutely. A culture of quality and continuous improvement with huge lessons for healthcare. Think Toyota production system, it changed manufacturing.
Okay, so what principles can healthcare borrow? Lean thinking often comes up. What does that mean practically?
Lean, often rooted in the Japanese idea of kaizen, continuous improvement, is all about eliminating waste and maximizing value in every single process.
Waste like wasted time, wasted materials.
Both. In automotive, it could be streamlining the assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
In healthcare, it might be optimizing patient flow to cut wait times, getting rid of unnecessary tests, improving how supplies are managed. Virginia Mason Medical Center is a great example. They really embrace lean.
So, always looking for ways to do things better, more efficiently. What about the data side of automotive quality?
Ah, that brings us to Six Sigma.
Six Sigma, heard of it. Very data-driven.
Extremely. It's a rigorous methodology using tools and techniques to reduce variation and defects. It follows a cycle called DMAI.
DMAIC.
Define the problem, measure current performance, analyze the root causes, improve the process, and then control future performance. Make sure the fix sticks.
How's that used in healthcare?
Well, it's been used to tackle things like reducing medication errors, analyzing why they happen, and putting targeted fixes in place, or lowering hospital readmission rates by figuring out why patients come back soon after discharge and addressing those root causes.
A very systematic approach, then. I've also heard about standard work and visual management in manufacturing. How do those translate?
Standard work in automotive means tasks are done consistently, the same documented way every time. Visual management uses cues charts, dashboards, color coding to make the status of things immediately clear to everyone.
And in healthcare.
You see it in things like visual boards on hospital wards, showing key patient info care plans, outstanding tasks. Surgical timeouts are another great example.
Or pause before surgery.
Exactly. The team pauses, verbally confirms patient identity, the procedure, the site. That's a form of standard work in visual management right there. Ensures everyone's aligned.
And the idea in automotive where everyone, even on the line, can suggest improvements, that seems powerful.
It really is, that continuous improvement culture, where every employee feels empowered to spot problems and suggest solutions. It fosters ownership, drives innovation from the ground up.
And healthcare is trying to encourage that.
More and more. Through things like staff-led quality improvement teams, daily huddles where frontline staff can raise issues, suggestion schemes, recognizing that the people doing the work often know best how to improve it.
Okay. And one more term, poka-yoke. That's a fun one. Mistake-proofing.
Exactly. Poka-yoke is Japanese for mistake-proofing. Designing processes or devices so errors just can't happen or are immediately obvious, like a USB plug only fitting one way.
Ah, right. Healthcare examples.
Things like color-coded medication labels to prevent mix-ups, barcode scanning for patient ID and meds, special connectors for medical tubing that physically prevent wrong connections. Simple, but effective error prevention.
These are such tangible examples. It really shows how learning from other sectors works. Okay, let's turn to accreditation. We've got info on Joint Commission International, JCI. Who are they? Why are they important?
JCI is, well, a global leader, widely recognized for setting and promoting high standards for healthcare quality and patient safety. Their mission is pretty clear, to enable and affirm the highest standards for all.
And they operate globally.
Oh yeah, over 70 countries, accredited or certified more than 1,000 programs worldwide. They have a huge reach.
Wow. What are the actual benefits hospitals see from going through JTI accreditation? It sounds like a lot of work.
It is rigorous, but the benefits seem significant. We have insights from hospital leaders. Alex Lan at Hong Kong Adventist described it as a powerful team builder, improving coordination. Shiji Kurian at Brigil Farha mentioned the competitive edge and community trust, plus better risk management and a stronger safety culture.
Mm-hmm.
Imad Sadek from Clemenceau Medical Center talked about driving continuous improvement. Roxana Fulton at Fondation Valle del Lilly noted better interdepartmental collaboration.
So it's not just a certificate. It seems to drive real operational change.
It sounds transformative. What kind of support does JCI offer organizations going through this?
They offer a whole suite of things. Detailed international standards covering pretty much everything in a hospital. Training programs, advisory services to guide organizations, different accreditation programs, plus resources like newsletters, webinars. They even have a big conference coming up, Unified 2025, focused on solving healthcare challenges.
Okay, and JCI isn't the only one, right? We also have NABH and ISQA here.
That's right. NABH, the National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Providers, is key in India, part of the Quality Council of India, focused on setting up accreditation programs specifically for Indian healthcare organizations.
Setting benchmarks within India. Exactly. Setting benchmarks, catering to patient needs there.
Bam, eSquad.
ISQA, the International Society for Quality in Healthcare, is a nonprofit with a really global outlook. They focus on promoting quality improvement worldwide through education, sharing knowledge, supporting health systems, and providing a framework for external evaluation, like accreditation. Huge network, members in over 70 countries.
And they have conferences, too.
Yep, their next big international one is in Sao Paulo in October 2025, focusing on inclusive health systems. They're really about global collaboration and learning.
So how do these bodies, JCI, NABH, ISQA, how do their standards connect back to those lessons from aviation and automotive we were talking about?
Well, this is really where it comes together. The standards these organizations develop, JCI and ABH, they fundamentally incorporate those principles. They demand standardization of critical processes. They require a commitment to continuous improvement. They put a huge emphasis on building a culture of patient safety.
So they provide the framework.
Essentially, yes. A structured framework for healthcare organizations to actually adopt and implement those best practices that have worked so well in other high-reliability fields.
Interesting. We saw mentions of quality standards like ISO 9001 in aviation and automotive. Do healthcare accreditation standards align with those?
They do, in principle.
Uh-huh.
While JCI and NEBH have their own detailed healthcare-specific standards, they often draw on the foundational quality management principles you find in frameworks like ISO 9001 or industry-specific ones like IATF 16949 for automotive or ACMM for aerospace. Aviation, Space, and Defense Quality Management Standard. The underlying philosophy is consistent. Robust quality systems, defined processes, data-driving decisions, and that relentless focus on getting better.
Okay, this really connects all the dots. So for a hospital or clinic serious about improving quality and safety, what are the key takeaways? Adapting these models using accreditation. What should they focus on?
If we boil it all down, a few key strategies emerge. Implementing detailed standard operating procedures, SOPs, for patient care.
Right.
Investing seriously in regular training and simulation for staff. Actively cultivating that continuous improvement culture, the Kaizen mindset, where everyone contributes. And really prioritizing a strong safety culture. Open communication, non-punitive error reporting, and pursuing accreditation gives you a roadmap and, frankly, external validation for all that effort.
We also saw Supreme Medic Consultancy mentioned. What's the role of companies like that?
Right, SupremeMedic is a good example of a specialized consultancy. They provide crucial support to hospitals, helping them implement quality management systems and navigate the accreditation process, like for NABH.
So they help with the practicalities.
Exactly. From planning and setup to operations and staying compliant. They act as expert guides, helping bridge the gap between wanting to improve and actually achieving it.
Like partners on the journey, it's clear this isn't just about ticking boxes, is it? It's about a fundamental shift.
Absolutely. A genuine commitment to quality improvement, often driven or validated by accreditation, leads to real benefits for patients. Less harm, more efficiency, a better experience overall. It's an investment in a safer, more reliable healthcare system for everyone.
This has been really enlightening. It's amazing how principles from aviation and automotive offer such clear pathways for healthcare improvement. Standardization, teamwork, continuous improvement, safety culture. The themes are so consistent.
They really are.
And the role of accreditation bodies like JCI, NABH, ISQA in driving these seems undeniable.
Which brings us to a final thought, perhaps for you, our listener. Thinking about these parallels, aviation, automotive, healthcare, and your own experiences, maybe as a patient, family member, or professional, what's one specific process you've encountered in healthcare that you think could be significantly improved? Maybe by applying a lesson from aviation, like checklists, or from automotive, like lean.
Or just through a more rigorous approach to standardization, like accreditation pushes for it.
Exactly. How could that systems thinking approach lead to more reliable, safer care in that specific instance? Something to think about.